What's going on, guys? CryptoHoy here, and in this video we're going to be taking a quick look at Mooky Coin. They are currently having a pre-sale on stage 8, but before we jump right into what this project has to offer, what are the pros, the cons, and potential red flags, or what to look out for. If you're new here, welcome to my channel where I do crypto reviews and updates. And if you find this video to be helpful and informative, make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and also hit the bell so you never miss another video. So with that said, let's jump right in. Now, this project, I gotta say that their marketing and their website and everything looks very nice. Their animation, because even when we go here to their Twitter, we can see that they actually have like a video animation that looks very nice, very creative, very catchy. So when it comes to marketing, they're doing a pretty good job, I would say, at least to create something that is different, that is not just like an image, but they're actually going a little bit more further and investing on making some animation and 3D animation at that. So I gotta give them, kudos for that, for this project, for doing that extra effort. But now let's go to what really matters, right? Which is the money, okay? Which is this worth it or not? Now, this is not financial advice, all right? And always invest what you're willing to lose. And as always, always do your own research on any of these projects and pre-sales. Now, what I gotta say though is that this project, it seems like if it's a combination of other previous projects that I have already covered here in this channel. One of them being that it has a lot of stages very similar to like Big Eyes. Okay, if you guys remember, Big Eyes had like 15 stages. Well, this project right here has 12 stages. So let me show you that here. So when we go here to like how many stages will be there in Mooky presale, it says 12 stages. In my opinion, anytime there's a presale that is like beyond 3 or something, or that has a whole bunch of presales, in my opinion, okay, is that it is no longer a presale. Pretty much the launch has already occurred, okay, like a stealth launch, but not like a stealth launch that is already out in the market, but that pretty much the token has already been like slightly launched already, okay, although it hasn't been out yet, like in the markets and the exchanges. I hope that makes sense. But pretty much that is just way too many stages on a pre-sale. Like normally if it has like 2 pre-sales or 3 or something, or less than 3, I think that's okay. Ideally, you just want to have just one pre-sale, just like one price, one pre-sale, and then let the market dictate its value along the way. Just have 1 or 2 maybe pre-sales, right? Depending, maybe the first pre-sale is going to be for like those high-end, maybe like people that have a lot more money. Of course, there's going to be a minimum to put in, and then the second pre-sale is like for all the other retail investors who wants to jump into this pre-sale, and then that's it. And then after that, just launch the token into like different exchanges. And because pretty much right here, it allows a lot of people to have a lot of time to jump into this pre-sale. And then the expectation is that once this is launched, it's going to moon, and then eventually it's going to, dump. But you want to jump out of that rocket before it crashes and explodes with some profits. You want to jump out on time. It's just timing the market at the right time, which is difficult because we don't know the future. But this is one thing that I have to critique on this, is that there's way too many stages, to be honest. But that's what they're offering here, that there are 12 stages, and again, very similar to Big Eyes, okay, with 15 stages. But Big Eyes has been running for like 9 months, like a little bit over 9 months, from the pre-sale all the way to the launch of the token. And for Mooky, it seems like it's going to be less than 9 months, because when we go here to Twitter, their pre-sale started, this announcement on their Twitter was on March 27th, so pretty much close to like April. And then it said stage 1 beta pre-sale. It says 1 day away. And when we go over here, we see that it was live on March 29th. So let's round that off to like April. So that's April, May, June. We're entering to July. So maybe the pre-sale is going to end in the 3rd quarter. So 3rd quarter is pretty much any time after July, or between July, and then there's August and September. So in those 3 months, this token should be launching. So in all, I think it's probably going to run for like 6 months or less, but currently it's on stage 8, so it might take maybe like a month, or maybe like or 2 months for it to be complete. and it should be already launched, like it mentions here in their roadmap or tree map, how they call it here, somewhere in the next quarter. Now, one thing that they are kind of, it looks here that they are also inspired by Impact Token is the fact that they want to do something for the environment. Now, if you guys remember, Impact Token, they wanted to reduce carbon emissions, and they were turning them into like carbon credits that you could buy and trade and do things like that and earn, I guess, some credits and impact tokens. And then you're going to be able to use that to buy carbon credits and trade and get NFTs. So right here, we can see that they're trying to do something similar, but a little bit different, of course. One is that, yes, they're trying to help the environment, associating themselves, at least that's what they're saying here. We don't like actually have any proof, but with planting trees and helping the environment that way. And one way they're doing this is allowing you, if you want to buy their NFTs, which we're going to see right here. If you buy an NFTs, they only have 1,000 unique 3D NFTs. And if you decide to buy one of them, then you're going to, it says here that each NFT is also connected to a real life planted tree that can be tracked. So if you buy an NFT, I guess it says here that it's going to be connected to a real life planted tree. I'm not sure if that means that they're going to plant a new tree or an existing planted tree. I'm not quite sure. But yeah. And as an extra bonus, it says if you hold a legendary or super rare, you receive entry into Mooky's Venture Club. Try your luck today. Mint one of our special NFTs. But this is not live just yet, so it's going to take some time for them to make this. But here, what I like to point out is that what I like at least about these NFTs is that they're associating this image or 3D NFTs associated with something physical, something, I guess, a little bit more tangible. And you're going to see what I mean by that here in just a bit, because NFTs nowadays, okay, just an image of a rock, all right, or an image of a flying cat, a rainbow, is not enough anymore. Because essentially what you're doing, or when you buy an NFTs, is that you're buying a link, all right, just to leave it like in simple terms, you're buying a link, or you're owning the link to the source of that image or video or audio or whatever it is. But you don't actually own it because it's not in your hard drive. Okay, if you lose that link, you pretty much lost a connection with that NFT. All right, and so that's why I think that nowadays the NFTs needs to be associated or backed by something else. Either, let's say if you're a music artist, you can back it up by, if you buy an NFT, you get maybe like a shirt, you get an album, you get or something associated with it that is, or maybe even a concert ticket, 2 concert tickets, or something like that. Pretty much an NFT by itself is not enough anymore. It needs to be associated with something else, tangible, ideally, or preferably, or some other access. Pretty much an NFT can act as a ticket for you to have access and privileges to something more. Right here it mentions the Mooky Ventures Club. So what is that? Right here they explain that the Ventures Club is a unique perk for legendary and super rare NFTs holders. Receive airdrops bi-monthly from our partnership platforms, merchandise, and passive income from our investment portfolio. Track it all through a dashboard. So this sounds very great, but I always bring up the question is, where is the money coming from and how are they able to afford this? Now they are saying that it's coming from their investment portfolio. So we just need to get a little bit more information about this. Perhaps when the dashboard is out, when they finish constructing it, perhaps we can have a little bit more information about this. It will be good to have an AMA with the token owner, creators, and the devs about how this is going to work. Because similar to like Big Guys, I always ask, okay, you're giving all these bonuses, where's the money coming from? And what happened to Big Guys? They were having troubles. They were in a hole when it came to launch, and they had a horrible launch, and they didn't even add enough liquidity to the token. And then they started blaming the bot for it. Okay, and I already covered a video about that, but pretty much when it comes to these receiving airdrops bi-monthly, it sounds really good, but how exactly is this sustainable? And then when it comes to giving merchandise, like it's not free. It has to come out of somebody's pocket. So how long are they going to be able to keep this up? And if they can afford this at all, like how is this going to work? So that's just pretty much my only concern when it comes to this venture club, if it's going to be worth it. And one thing to point out, is that they're going to have different levels of NFTs, very similar to Tamadoge. Okay, they also, if you guys remember, Tamadoge also had this similar structure, and Mooky Coin, they're pretty much copying them. Okay, and that's what I meant from earlier this video, that it seems like they're inspired by Tamadoge, Big Eyes, and IMPT token, because they're kind of getting like certain elements from those other projects and implementing them into this new project. So let me show you that here real quick. Here on their white paper, it says jungle system. And before I get into all this other stuff where it says 1,000 unique NFTs, it says that they're going to offer, it says 5 different tiers of NFTs will be possible to mint. They have the common, uncommon, rare, super rare, and legendary. Okay, these tiers sounds very similar to Tamadoge. Okay, if you guys remember, they also had a similar tier where they have a common, uncommon, and I guess some let me see if I can find it here real quick. Here we go. So they have common, rare, ultra, and they have, I guess, some other ones here. But yeah, it's pretty much very similar to Tamadoge. Now the difference is that with Tamadoge, the purpose of the NFTs was to use it on the game, and the purpose with them is with Mooky Coin is that you're going to use this as some sort of like key or ticket for special access to certain things, such as the venture club. All right, the Mooky's venture club, like it says right here, and that's going to allow you to have entry into the ventures club and receive certain perks, pretty much airdrops, merchandise, like I already covered, and passive income from their investment portfolio. So that's the only difference, that they're not focused on a video game, but they're focused on more of some extra perks. Now, I don't want to make this video too long. I'm going to go in depth into the white paper, into their other sections of their project on a different video. But just to conclude, it says here, risk of not listing or low or no liquidity. So it says here that they may be subject to that depending on, on governmental control, etc. So pretty much you're saying that there's a risk of them not even being listed or being low to no liquidity. So keep that in mind, guys. It is here on their investment risk. Every investment has their own risk. Some people even consider like certain investments a gamble. It is, I guess, to an extent, but you need to just keep in mind that there is different levels of risk, and one of them, one of the highest high risk of investments is cryptocurrency. Okay, the safest one is real estate, in my opinion, and I already covered a video about this. But one of the safest investments is real estate. It's just hard to get in there because you do need to have some capital to invest on. And then there's business investments. It's a little bit more riskier than real estate, but again, it's more safer than let's say stocks and cryptocurrency and stuff like that, and meme coins. So meme coins are like altcoins, are at the very top of the high risk, very high risk levels. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. On a separate video, I'm going to be covering their audits, their KYC, and all this stuff. But just so you guys can keep in mind, just because they're KYC'd and they're saying that they're safe and rug free, take that with a grain of salt, because there have been projects that have been KYC'd and they have been rugged. Okay, they have been audited and they have been rugged. Okay, they have a very nice green paper and they were rugged. Okay, they were dumped, the price just dumped. Sometimes it does happen sometimes right after launch, but it doesn't necessarily have to occur that way. The rug can also happen after the fact. Okay, after it's been launched, maybe for a couple months, 3 months. After a certain time. I've seen that happen with Moon Pirate. All right. So just keep in mind that that with all this right here in the beginning is very high risk, and as always, only invest what you're willing to lose. So with that said, I'm gonna conclude the video here, and if you find this video to be helpful and informative, make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and also hit the bell so you never miss another video and another update. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.